Hello and welcome to another episode of Streaming Without a Paddle. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Ted.
All right, Ted. Today's, we're going to, it's, I don't know what to say other than the name of it is Hello Tomorrow. It's on Apple TV, starring Billy Crudup. And sorry about that, Billy. Crudup. Hank Azaria, Dewshane Williams, Haneefah Woods, Nicholas Podany, and Allison Pill. All of those people other than Hank Azaria, I really don't know. And I apologize if I mispronounced your names.
I know Allison Pill. She's in a lot of stuff.
Okay.
She's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
They're all good.
They are. You know, but Hello Tomorrow. Is it good?
I hate it. I watched it because you said to give it 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And I watched them last night. Okay, so last night, a friend of mine from acting school was in town because his wife is the dialect coach on that Holland, Michigan movie.
Uh-huh.
And he texted me, and we went and got a beer at Edley's Barbecue. And then we hung out and had a beer, and then I drove home, and I was like, all right. I hated the first episode so much that it almost made me angry. So I was just like, all right, you've had a beer. Let's watch these other 2 episodes. And it felt like they were 5 hours long.
But they're not. They're only like 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
And you're right. They do. It's a series, everybody. It's on Apple TV, and I imposed the 3 episode rule, which I have for every series. You got to give it 3 episode shot. Now, I will say this. It did get better as the episodes progressed, which is typical, and that's the reason I have the 3 episode rule. But I don't think I'm going to be watching a 4th.
No, I mean,
I'm not.
It seemed like they're all talented people. It seemed like they were acting.
Yeah,
like and it's not their fault. It's just the world. I guess the best way for us to describe this to you guys is like the world that they're in is futuristic, but set in 1950.
Yeah, it's like going to Tomorrowland, it was like going to Tomorrowland at Disney World, where everything's based in the 50s, but their cars hover. But it's a 55 Bel Air, but it hovers. And, there's just not a lot of technology, but there's a lot of technology. Mm-hmm. I mean, and so you're led to believe in the series that, and I haven't figured this out. I mean, I'm 90% sure that the genesis or the whole purpose of this story is made up, and that is they're scammers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I'm pretty sure too, but I'm not so sure. But they're scammers, and they're going into little towns, and they're scamming people
to get their deposit.
To get their deposits to go live on the moon. Which you think, nobody lives on the moon, but they drive around in cars that hover,
and they have. It's if you've ever played the video game BioShock. It's sort of like that in the world of like, you're like, oh, it's 1942 and there's an underwater city, but you have all this weird technology.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's modern technology that's wrapped in the package of being 1950s.
They don't have cell phones,
no.
But they do have video telephones.
Yes.
And it's just confusing. It's kind of dumb.
And deliveries are made via delivery truck driven by AI. I guess that's just the way you can put it.
Yeah.
GPS, AI, there's no real driver in the car.
And you saw what happens. Not a spoiler. Billy Crudup's ex-wife gets hit and gets put into a coma within the first 5 minutes of the show.
Yeah. And so that's a real disconnect in this show. You're watching something that's in the 50s. They dress like they're in the 50s. They eat like they're in the 50s. everything that they're around in the way of conveniences looks like it's from 1950s, but he had a dictaphone. He's talking into this dictaphone that's typing on a typewriter that you would see a normal typewriter, and you're like, what?
Or the baseball game. The stupid ass popcorn things drove me crazy.
Yeah. Actually, I was like, that would be cool.
It'd be cool for a minute, but it was also, it was the size of your cup.
Right.
It's like, thank you for this.
Self-popping popcorn. When you want to buy it, you push a button and it pops, basically a mouthful of popcorn for you.
Right.
You open the lid and you eat it.
And the dumb nacho thing. I don't even know if that was edible.
Yeah.
And then they had what was the baseball game? Like, basically, it was just like a big, bright baseball that I didn't understand.
I didn't understand that either. It's like, if you're familiar with the kids game trackball, where you put a ball in this oversized, looks like lacrosse pole, and you throw it, and it spins and does spirals and does great big curves, that kind of thing. Yeah, you didn't have trackball?
No.
Oh, I had trackball.
Highlight, where they throw it.
Well, yeah, it's like a highlight thing.
It's kind of like a highlight thing.
But there's teeth on the inside, and the ball's plastic, and it's got a grip to it. The ball does. It's not smooth. So when you throw it, it curves.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's anyway. That's what it reminded me of, watching the ball players out there practicing. They're throwing the balls and they're doing loop-de-loops and all that stuff. It was just really, really confusing for me, because I was left with the impression, or the question was, are these homes on the moon real? Are they selling something for real, or is this just a scam?
I don't think they are. Because in the third episode of that piece of shit, in the third episode, they go, she's like, well, I need to go now. Well, they have to build the rockets. I don't even think they know. I think only Billy Crudup knows that they're scamming people.
Yeah. And I was at a loss. I really, really was.
Explain to me, because this show is not really worth talking that much in depth about. So just explain to me something. People do know that you get violently ill when you go into space. Like, you have 90% of people, astronauts, their body has to adapt. You also have to be moving and working out all the time, because there's not the same stuff up there. And it's like, why is everybody like, let's go to Mars? Why do you want to colonize a planet? Like, what are you doing? Why don't we focus on making this planet okay?
Hey, I had COVID and I was sick for 3 days of the COVID sick,
Yeah.
That was pretty miserable. So I can't imagine space sick being worse than that. But
yeah, I'm with you.
But anyway, yeah, I want to almost call it a whodunit. I mean, I know who's done it, but it's like, is it real or not? And that would be the only thing I would think that would propel someone to keep watching this series, if there was an inkling, which I have, and I don't know if it's strong enough to propel me, an inkling to believe that they're really selling trips to the moon.
If I am going to, I think it's 10 episodes, right?
Just going to skip to 10.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do, because I don't care. You've essentially taken one of the great actors of the last generation, Billy Crudup. He's really good.
He's really good.
Really good. He's the only person that when he talks, I'm like, okay, I believe you.
I did, yeah. No, he's excellent in the movie the show.
Hank Azaria is always great. It's just not. I think it is well written, but it's well written in a point of like, it seems fake. Everything seems fake. I'm just not into this type of thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not either, and I really love, and I was excited about this and the reason I pointed out was just for the fact that Billy Crudup was the lead in this. I like him. I mean, he had me at Almost Famous. I mean, oh my God, he nailed that role.
I hate that movie.
Yeah, but he nailed it.
He was great.
He was awesome.
We've talked about this before, but every single, and I love a lot of Cameron Crowe stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
That movie in particular is just like, they always have a moment where they say something really like, and that's the thing, man. It's just love, or that's my qualm. Or, they always have it. That movie has it maybe 37 times. Yeah. When they all sing Tiny Dancer, I'm just like, please shut up.
Oh.
But it's great when he says, I'm a golden god.
Well, we're reviewing now Almost Famous, and I'm going to be the opposite of Ted, and because I loved Almost Famous. I loved it.
I just didn't. Yeah, it's not my thing. His later work is not my stuff. The last movie of his I liked was Elizabethtown, and most people hate that movie.
I haven't seen that, but I'm going to have to go back and see that. But I did watch him because my wife loves Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston, and that Apple TV series, The Morning Show.
Oh, I hear that's great.
First of all, you've got Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon as the top billing on this show, but the reality of, and Steve Carell.
Okay.
And Steve Carell. But Billy steals the show. He is the show. He's the tone, the tenor, the pace. His character is it.
So I just listened to him on a podcast called Smartless.
Yeah.
It's like, Will Arnett and those dudes, and Jason Bateman. He's like, I get those scripts like 2 weeks ahead of time because I need 2 weeks to memorize. Because I guess he speaks very fast. And he's like, I just got to drill it because that's not my cadence. And he's like, it's super hard. But he's like, yeah, I got to watch that show.
I did not like The Morning Show. I mean, it's kind of loosely based off of the morning show NBC with what was his name?
Matt Lauer.
Matt Lauer scandal.
The one that.
The sex scandal in the office and all that. So, but but Billy Crudup's character just ruled it. I mean, you've got Aniston and Witherspoon. And you've got Steve Carell, but he was the focus of the show. He should have been given top billing for it, and he was amazing. And that's the reason why I said, "Oh well, crap, I got to watch this," because he flew under the radar for a long time
by choice
and whatever. But now he's back, and you just really enjoy watching him.
He's 55. He's got to make that money for it. I mean, it's the truth. He did theater for years and years.
Is that what he was doing?
Yeah, he's a huge theater actor, and he lives in New York City. He's always doing plays and stuff, but there comes a point, I had this conversation with my friend last night, it's like, there's a point when, like, I can't afford to do theater anymore, and I'm sure he can't either.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not when, I mean, he's getting a large amount to do these TV shows, but, like, even if you're the kid in this TV show, the kid that's, spoiler, because you don't need to watch a show, the kid is his kid.
Yeah.
At least that's what we're led to believe.
Yeah, we have no reason to not believe it. Well, I think he is. The kid is his kid, and they're estranged. The kid
doesn't know,
grew up not knowing who his father was, and so when Billy's character comes back into his life after the mother's had this accident, at the behest of Billy's mother, go see your son.
She was good.
But he has...
The mom was good.
Well, they accidentally run in. I'm not, again, I don't think this is worth watching. So he ran into her, or him, the son, at the hospital when he was secretly or quietly, however you want to say, going to go visit his ex-wife or whatever they were, who's laying in a coma and they just happened to run into each other.
Because the automated truck that was delivering a package to her backed into her.
Right, smashed her.
So let's get excited for Elon Musk and his fleet of Tesla self-driving trucks. Seems to work out great. Right. Nothing will ever go wrong.
Nothing. Ever. Well, you ever watch those YouTube videos of people with the Tesla and they throw it into self-driving mode?
No.
Oh, I watched one the other day. It was so funny. The guy was coming up to a toll booth and and he had in self-driving mode, and the Tesla was whipping through there. I mean, he was legitimately scared, And
I have been in one when my friend was like, "Watch, it's driving itself," and I'm like, "Please don't do that. Please don't do that."
I've been in a car where somebody that was driving thought their car had self-driving mode, but it didn't. And so, yeah, no, that was we almost ended up in a ditch because they just were they fell asleep at the wheel is what they did.
I mean,
don't.
I'm not ready for all this futuristic stuff. How about this? How about we fix the environment and we don't need flying cars and we're all good? Give us some public transportation so we don't all have to drive all the time everywhere.
Got to test it out somewhere somehow.
Yeah,
we're guinea pigs.
But I was gonna say that kid. This is like his first big thing.
Yeah,
he's out of Juilliard. I looked him up.
Yeah, same here.
He does a great job. But I mean, like, even worst case scenario, he's probably getting a lot more than this. He's getting $15,000 an episode, and I mean, like, that's why he can't do theater.
Well, he's the kid, Nicholas Podany. Podany. I don't know. Nicholas. Let's just call him Nicholas. I'm sorry we can't pronounce your last name. Graduate from Juilliard, but he is Juilliard. He is a really good musician.
Is he?
Yeah. He's got, he's on SoundCloud, and I went and listened because I was the same way with you. I was like, who is this guy? Because he actually did a really good job. I mean, I bought into what he was doing, and I picked up what he was putting down. So I was like, all right, I got to go see what else I'm missing from him. And there was really nothing that I was missing from him other than the fact that his music is really good. It's instrumental, mainly, instrumental music. And kind of got a relaxing, jazzy vibe to it. And I was like, well, this guy's good.
If you went to Juilliard, you got, 25% chance you're real good.
Yeah, well,
that's the number. It's like usually out of every of the big acting schools, like Juilliard maybe a little more because they have like 24 people. So there's probably 4 of them that make it. But sometimes none.
Well, he majored in drama, which I thought he did a great job.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing he minored in music because...
Oh, you can't minor. You're just in one program.
His compositions were amazing.
Maybe he just was jamming out.
I mean, he could be barking up the wrong tree. Maybe he should focus more on his music than his acting.
I think you make more money acting these days.
Yeah.
Just by talking to musicians, they have to tour 24/7 because that's the only way to make money.
Hey, when I was young, man, that would have been the life for me.
Yeah, when I was like 21 to like 32, I would have been like, let's go.
Yeah.
But now I would be like, no.
Well, see, that's what I want to start in my later life is that kind of lifestyle and van life, catamaran life, that kind of thing.
I'd get a Winnebago.
So I want to get, I've looked at the RVs, and of course I follow the YouTube, a few YouTube van lifers, and I pretty much got my rig picked out. I want the Winnebago Revel. It's on a Mercedes 144 chassis.
Okay.
I got it down here, don't I?
How much are those?
New they're running about $120,000, but you can get a used one now because they've had them out for 4 or 5 years. So
get one for about 80.
Yeah, I've seen them as low as 60. So
it'd be fun. I wouldn't mind driving around. There's a lot of cool stuff to see in the United States.
There is a lot.
And Canada.
Cool stuff. And, I said, worst comes to worst, if I get the van and I don't actually drive it around the country, we could do the podcast from it like Steve-O does his.
Oh, Steve-O does do his in his van.
We'll park it down by the river.
Yeah.
We'll rename the
van
show.
Down by the river.
Yeah. 2 guys in a van down by the river.
And we'll just review old Chris Farley movies.
That's it.
But that would be...
Poor David Spade.
Oh, he's done all right.
Could he take that much ragging from us if all we're going to do is Chris Farley movies?
I mean, they were such a good pair for those 2 movies.
They were. There's no question there. But we'd have to break it down as we do a movie, but we would review each scene.
Yes, because it would be a very short podcast because he only did about 5 movies.
Yeah. So
let's see. I'm going to run down. I think I know them all. He did Airheads, Coneheads, Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, Beverly Hills Ninja, whatever the last one that he died. No, is that it? Oh,
that's all I know.
He did Dirty Work.
Didn't see that one.
Yeah,
Didn't even know.
He's just a bit part in that.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it. All right.
Gone Too Soon. I would be really interested to see the Chris Farley in his 50s doing stuff. Well, there's an argument. Sorry that we've gone off on a tangent. It's just there's nothing that we like about that show.
Guys, I'm sorry. There's just Hello Tomorrow.
Goodbye Today.
Yeah.
Oh,
burn.
What I was going to say is it would be it would be interesting to see Farley now and that crew, but really and truly, I don't think we have Kevin James if Chris Farley's still around.
Oh, no. No, you don't.
Right?
And then again, what about Belushi? If Belushi was here, would we have Farley?
I think Farley was a different level of he's like a Sam Kinison.
Farley or Belushi?
No, well, Sam Kinison's like a mix of the two. Yeah. Belushi was not as... Farley was like a hurricane.
Yeah.
Belushi was more of a controlled flame. In my opinion. Yeah, but also it's like generational. If you have Belushi, he's already off Saturday Night Live at that point. He's with Chevy Chase and all that group. The guys in their early 70s, late 60s.
Yeah.
Farley would be in his early 50s.
Yeah.
Is that right? Mid-50s.
Mid-50s.
So, yeah, because Sandler's probably 55.
Yeah, something like that. They're my age.
He's going to win an Oscar. I'm telling you. Sandler's going to win an Oscar.
Sandler.
Before it's said and done, he's going to win an Oscar.
Does it matter?
To win an Oscar?
Yeah, the guy is just,
It doesn't matter because he's great.
He is good. There's no question. But, he's successful. He is successful by all measures. And I don't think an Oscar defines somebody's success because there have been so many Oscar winners that, they won an Oscar. And then that's the last you've heard of them.
Uncut Gems, his performance in that movie was so good. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that. No,
that's
what's
great.
The one when he did with Jennifer Aniston?
Oh, the one where she works for him and they go on the trip. I don't know. They go to Hawaii.
I think they're doing a sequel. No.
Or do they go on safari?
They did. No, he did another movie. I'm gonna have to talk about that later. It was. Anyway,
he's great. That basketball movie.
Yeah, he was really good in that one too. And the one where you're thinking about is Just Go With It.
Yeah,
where he's a plastic surgeon and they go to Hawaii and no, he didn't. He and Jennifer Aniston did another movie, and it was a streaming original, and it came out a couple of years ago now. And I thought they were doing a sequel to it because it was at the time it was the biggest hit that I think Netflix had seen.
Wait a minute. Is that the one where they go, the mystery one?
Yeah.
That one. That was a great one.
That was great. He was great.
Sometimes he misses, but honestly, even when he misses, like Hubie Halloween is real goofy, I still watch it. And I love the grown-ups movies unapologetically. I don't really care what people think.
Yeah.
I like Grown-ups 1 and 2. And I don't care. They're fun family movies.
Yeah, no argument here.
Thank you, Adam Sandler.
They're entertainment. There's no question.
We could go down a whole Adam Sandler hole because I feel like every pompous, pretentious actor, writer I know is like, Adam Sandler. It's like, guess what, guys? He's entertaining. People like him.
He is. And obviously his writing he's creative. He puts together storylines that work, and they seem to, you don't leave people going, that's a throwaway scene. They all work. There's nothing that doesn't work, and everything's realistic. So
and people always go at, if you think about it, let me tell you something. I know that we are critiquing things, and you don't have to listen to us. It doesn't matter. No. But I'll tell you one thing. We're probably the only two critics that will sit here and be like, Adam Sandler movies are good.
They are.
Critics... just look at Rotten Tomatoes. Pretty much whatever critics universally say is the next greatest thing is probably not going to be the greatest thing to you.
Yeah.
If you're a normal person.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that.
Although I do hear The Whale is quite good, and I need to see it.
Yeah, I haven't seen The Whale yet either. But anyway, yeah, I do. I like Adam Sandler, and I don't think he really cares about getting an Oscar. I really don't. He doesn't strike me as that kind of guy. I think he's where he's at and he's happy, and I just kind of imagine his mindset being, I've ridden this wave And I've been riding this wave a long time, and I've been riding it the way I want to ride it. So what can you argue with?
He's been riding the wave for 30 years.
Consistently.
There's never ever been a point when he didn't. He's had like, I looked this up with my friend Brody, because Brody loves Adam Sandler movies. And I don't think he's ever taken a loss. Even on the terrible one, the one where he played his sister.
Oh.
That one was awful.
That was.
He didn't even take a loss on that one.
Well, I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head, but the one he did with Kerry Russell.
He did a Kerry Russell movie?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He did that awful Western Magnificent 12 or whatever. That was hard to watch, too. But usually...
at some point, right?
Usually...
At some point, I got to look this up, because if you haven't seen this movie, it's actually a good movie, and let's see here. Bedtime Stories, 2008.
I did not see that one.
Oh, my God.
Is that good?
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Well, I'm just going to rip...
Oh, look at this. And I'm sitting here looking at the ratings. Rotten Tomatoes, 27%. Yeah, no way. No.
So...
I'm sorry. No way. And the Google users are 76%. So there you go. Listen to the Google users. Watch Bedtime Story. Adam Sandler, Kerry Russell. Good movie.
Watch Hustle, the new basketball movie for Netflix he did. It's great. Ben Foster's in it. Ben Foster, amazing actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually is a good one. I think we're done talking about this crappy TV
I'm
show.
sorry. Hello Tomorrow, Apple TV. There's no real runtime because it's a series. Ted and I... We pushed through for you guys 3 episodes, and it's not worth it. It's not. I'm not motivated enough to. I don't think I'm motivated enough. I think Ted solved the problem. I'm going to tune into episode 10 to see if there really is a Mars. I'm sorry, Colony on the Moon.
I don't see how this could go on any further after 10 episodes.
No, it's a one-off for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was disappointing. It really was, and I might have just set myself up because I am a big Billy Crudup fan. I like his acting. I like his style. He blew me away in the other Apple TV series, The Morning Show. So, and if you don't have Apple TV, I would say, well, between Ted Lasso and The Morning Show, which are still airing, you can go back into the archives and watch. It would be worth with a 1-month free subscription.
It's also $6 a month.
Yeah, it's
Apple doesn't put out a lot of stuff though.
No,
they're like, here's a couple of things.
I wish they would put out more because they got money to do it.
Well, you got to think they got to throw that money away in their tax write-off money.
You got
to dump it somewhere. Let me make a TV series for you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, and I'm not going back to Emancipation because that was a march I did not want to get into.
Yeah.
But anyway, Morning Show on Apple TV. Ted Lasso obviously is great. Which exciting. Ted Lasso's finally got a release date for season 3, and that's March 15th. It's a Wednesday. It's going to be airing on Wednesdays, not Friday or Sunday.
Can't wait.
I know. Well, you know what? I'm going into it bitter.
Final season.
I know, but I'm going into it bitter because the politics got in the way of a great series and delayed it. And
Wait, what do you mean the politics?
Something went on apparently, and I can't speak to it because I have no firsthand information. But they stopped production on it, and then because they stopped production on it, crew and people still had to be paid. And so Warner Brothers and Apple got into a big back and forth of who was going to pay all this overages and stuff.
Because of COVID.
No, because from what I've read, it's because certain people didn't like the scripts that were coming out. They didn't like the way it was going down. And so they were doing lots of shoots, stopped shooting altogether until they got the scripts worked out. It was not nice.
I'm going to Google that when I leave here.
Do. Yeah, no. And Apple and Warner Brothers got into a big back and forth of who's paying for all the overages. And because it was supposed to have been out at the first of this year in January.
Yeah.
So
Stuff happens.
yeah, it does, but it left a bitter taste in my mouth because I love the show.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Hello tomorrow. What'd you say? Goodbye today.
Goodbye today. I can't.
Goodbye
I'm not
today.
even going to give this a number because I just don't. I can't.
It wouldn't.
objectively-
Well, we gave Doggone a 50. We agreed on a 50.
Doggone
for
was much better than this.
Doggone. Yeah. Okay.
And it was awful.
Yeah.
So okay, 34. I give this a 34.
Well, if Rotten Tomato followers, users gave Bedtime Stories a 27, which is the Adam Sandler, Kerry Russell movie, which was really good. The Google people on that are probably closer to being right at 76. Then this has to be a 20 in my book.
Yeah, I gave it a 3 on IMDb, but it's got a 6.
3 out of 10.
Yeah,
That's a 30
It's got a 6, and I'm
on
surprised it's that
IMDb.
high. Yeah.
What this show? Hello Tomorrow. Got a 6.
I mean, a melodramatic future nobody wants to live in. Accurate.
Nobody wants to watch.
Oh, this is my review of. Holy crap! No, this is awful. All right, we got
All
to
right,
exit this.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I hope you enjoyed the show. We did talk about good stuff.
Yeah, we talked about great stuff.
We just couldn't go down the rabbit hole with this one. Hello Tomorrow. It's not there.
Nope.
It's just not there. So, Tim Cook, you can do better than this. Somebody at in your programming department should be fired. And if this is the best, if Billy's under some sort of deal that they can come up with him, you just wasted a lot of money and good talent.
So much money.
Yeah, and good talent. I mean, I would have held on to Billy for something else because he's good.
Yeah.
He is good.
Yep.
And he's good in this. It's just a horrible thing.
Yes.
It's just bad concept. Conceptually horrible. Acting in it, everybody does a good job.
Yep.
So there you go. All right, I'm a 20,
I'm a 30.
and thanks for listening to Streaming Without a Paddle. I'm Andrew.
I'm Ted.
Till next week.